here we have the burning of the diaries, which is kind of funny because I'm not really destroying them, I'm only destroying the hard copies, which have kind of got manky and mouldy and weird over time, but I've still got them all recorded in digital media, so not really letting go, holding on while letting go at the same time, because you just never know, I might need all that crappy emotional information one day for future reference, for my book, or to prove to people that I'm not as crazy as they painted me as, the dirty motherfuckers. So there you go. Life goes on. It's been very cathartic going through all the diaries, especially the ones relating to my quasi-relationship with David Davidson through 98 to 2002. 2001 really, he got married in 2002, didn't he? So anyway, there you go. It's kind of been quite spiritually healing, because it sort of helped me understand why he felt the urge to haunt my house and when he was transitioning, which I still haven't quite gotten over because that was so incredibly weird and supernatural and downright spooky. But I can see by reading all the diaries that as much as he played me for a fucking epic fool, there was something between us, because he certainly kept coming back and playing more games. And you know, when you invest that much into people emotionally, it leaves a spiritual bond and a spiritual mark, good, bad or indifferent. It's just a pity he couldn't get it right and I couldn't get it right. And as a trauma survivor, I was probably never going to get it right. And also at that time period, I was under complete attack by my mother and Buck, Sure, the con artist. I had very little support. I couldn't even rely on my sister to back me. So I was running around in circles trying to get love and attention from people who are mostly false, unloving, destructive, dangerous, even life-threatening, completely oblivious to how much evil was around me and in denial, because no one can quite wrap their heads around what I was put through. Even my psychiatrist struggled in the beginning to kind of put it all into a framework, but as he said to me on Friday, I've processed it all now, I've gotten older, I've survived them, I've done extremely well, and I should be very proud of myself, and I would be if I wasn't so beaten down by the huge, expensive loss I had materially, fiscally, emotionally and mentally. I mean, they cost me 20 years of my life, really. I'm only just coming up for air. And when I say I'm coming up for air, I live in terrible dread that the coming up for air is just one more gasp before the next fucking climactic disaster. And I just have to believe that this time the gods will bless me and let me have a peaceful, happy existence, and maybe true love one day, maybe a much more serene lifestyle surrounded by my beloved friends and family, and maybe a partner one day. All seems a little bit of a fantasy when you come from where I've come from, but it could happen. It's manifested for other people. It's not in the realms of complete fantasy. It's just that fuck, I mean, the more I go through the diaries, the more I'm just mind blown that I survived them all. I don't know how I did it. I'm a very, very, very strong woman. Very strong. And it amuses me somewhat how I was seriously underestimated by my enemies and even members in the Jewish community that decided to jump on and have a bit of a ride, treat me like some sort of fucking idiot. So, and of course, to their mind in those days, I was some sort of fucking idiot because I was completely victimised, traumatised, impoverished, demonised, vilified and abused. And smug, entitled, wealthy people think that when people come like that somehow, you know, the Protestant and even Jewish ethos of if bad things have happened to you, somehow you must have done something to deserve it. And I don't subscribe to that worldview. I never have. Even as a young child, I knew that I wasn't deserving of the absolute filth that was inflicted upon me. So I've been at war for 55 years. It's a long, long, long war. And I must admit, I'm a little bit tired. But here we go. We're burning these bastards slowly because they don't even want to burn. I have to laugh. I must say the teddy bear went up very quickly, but the teddy bear was nylon, so it was in effect plastic. So anyway, what can I say? Let's look on a happy note. What's happened today? I had a lovely day. The sun shone. The dog and I had a walk. We're a bit grief-stricken about my little family, you know, the little children moving away with their parents, moving house. That was a bit of a shock and a disappointment, but as I wrote on Facebook the other day, people come, people go, and that's life. But I've had a lot of joy with those little children, especially in a time when I was very isolated and feeling quite fragile. So the gods brought me something beautiful and joyful, and I'm sure that the gods will continue to bring me beauty and joy. I just have to, you know, be open to the experience and sit back and wait, you know, because in time it all manifests in the most perfect way. I told little Winston, who's only 6, that the next time I'll probably see him, he'll be a tall grown-up man and I won't recognise him, and he'll come up to me with a very deep voice and I'll say, "And who are you?" And you'll say, "Winston." And he's so gorgeous. He just gave me the most wise giggle and I just thought that was delightful. So yes, find your vibe, find your tribe. There is love out in the universe. You just have to find it and accept it when it comes and let it go when it goes. So that's what I got from being at war for 55 years. A prosaic, almost pragmatic, stalwart acceptance. And as they say in French, plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose. The more things change, the more they stay the same. So I haven't really gotten very far in 55 years, and I guess that's my karma or my destiny or whatever it is. I just have to accept it and be happy and move on. Move on in my heart and mind, I mean, since I can't physically improve my situation. And it's a bit hard when I had a serious love addiction with a sociopath. I mean, really, other people would have died or suicided. So I give myself credit for that, for surviving them all. It's a great, great miracle and a beautiful thing. I don't know why they won't burn. It's not damp. It was damp yesterday, but I'm not trying to burn the wood. I'm just trying to burn the diaries. I can see even that's going to be a battle to get them to burn. This one looks like it's taking 1992 diary is putting up one hell of a fight. Yes. That was at the time of my life when I realised my marriage was over and I was just hanging on by my teeth. And I hung on till the 1st of January 95 when Georgie Boyle's husband came to a New Year's Eve party and took it upon himself to humiliate me. And they all sat there like smug little ghouls. And I realised that this was the end. I had no choice but to rescue some shred of my dignity. And you know, all that spite and envy and viciousness was really fueled by the fact that at 23, at that stage I was 29, going on 30, was really fueled by absolute envy of me having a paid up home at 23, and probably envy of me being young and pretty, and envy of my intellect, and envy, as my shaman friend said, of my light. Sick people, sick, evil, perverted people, who I continue to struggle to engage with and keep some kind of a religious relationship by staying in that community for so many years. Makes you wonder, why would I have bothered, hey? Why did I bother? What was it really all about? The answer to that, my friends, is blowing in the wind, but I can say it was a part of the becoming of the Tanya, the growing and the development of a very broken little girl who was playing grown-ups and expecting kindness from strangers. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Can you even wrap your head around it? I know there's days I can't, and I've had 20 years of therapy to help me wrap my head around it. But look, it's a beautiful day. Day's nearly ending. I'm still typing up more diaries. I've got two more thick exercise books and a few pages of the third one to go. So I've done well. I've been determined. You cannot say the Tanya is not resilient and determined, like this flaming fire. I should pour gasoline on it, but I'll end up blowing myself up, so I won't. It was a bit prescient that I chose those lyrics from David Bowie the other day. What can I say? The song popped into my head. The spirit knows before I know what I'm going to get up to next. They try to give me little kind of peephole warning signs into the future, and I just plod along in my general prosaic acceptance going, yeah, whatever. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. And so it is. Sooner or later we get there. Anyway, what can I use to make this fire flare up a bit without causing a terrible mess? It's just sitting here smouldering slowly, isn't it? Oh, goodness gracious me. Even my diaries don't want to burn, cleaving to their existence. That's what happens when you put energy into things, and faith and trust and your heart and your soul. It's not so easily destroyed. Even death can't destroy it sometimes. Just remember that, people. I was haunted by a sociopath. For 4 nights, he couldn't go without saying goodbye. Wow. I was expecting a bit more of a dramatic flare up than this, but I guess it's cold and it's afternoon chill in the air. And like I say, it's not so easy to destroy my precious energies. God knows so many people have tried. I wonder how stupid they must feel now that they've crossed into the other dimensions and realised what utter dickwads and maniacs and intemperate fools they really were with their behaviours towards me. They must feel quite foolish and a tad bestial as well. Anyway, people, 15 minutes of raving on about that. I think that's enough. I'm going to go in, try and frickin' get this fire going a bit better, and I'll speak to you soon. Love you, those of you who love me and treat me with kindness.